My name is Chizkiah Amir Dromi. I was approached by Gdolei Israel, the rabbis, the chief rabbis in Israel, and I was asked to go in search of the source of the hair that eventually gets to be made into wigs and is spread out all over the world and comes also to Beit Israel. Now, I was asked to do this 14 years ago in Shnat Tashsad, because there was something that came to their knowledge, the rabbis, that there is avodah zarah, idolatry, that is practiced in India so extensively. And there was information that brought to the rabbis that maybe there is avodah zarah that is done with the hair before it is brought to be made into wigs. And they wanted to find out all the information about this. So I did that 14 years ago with my wife, and we went to the far-off regions of India where the big temples of avodah zarah, the idolatry happen, and we saw all their customs and what they do and who does it and why it's done. And we brought back the information to the rabbis, and they decided, I was in front of the Beit Din, and I gave in my testimony, and then they decided that it is tikrovet avodah zarah. Many wigs were burnt at the time, many people took off the wigs. Around 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago, I was approached again, and I was asked to go again to India to check out even more deeply about the exact conduct and their practices and what they do, because there was a great doubt as to exactly how the practice and what happens there in India. I went this time on my own, but I got a local person, very, very wise and smart person. He knows profound English also, and also the many languages of the region. He was born there in the area of Tirupati or Tirumala, where people go, gather, crowd their way in and do their practice of shaving the hair as an offering to their idols. We went there, and we got to this temple is in the high hills of a very jungle. It's surrounded by a jungle full of wild animals, whatever. But all the way up on the road leading and all the paths that lead, they're also walking paths. You see an endless stream of people, Indians, some in cars, some in buses, some on foot, all rushing and on their way to this temple in the high hills of this jungle area. When we got there, it's an unbelievable, view, what you see there. There are endless batei avodah zarah, idols to be seen, statues of so many different shapes. I will not go into the particulars, but it is so disgusting to see. It's unbelievable that people can worship such things. But the people themselves, you see that they are very, very, very dedicated. You see that also the old people, those that are barely able to move, and also the youngest of children, and also the big families. Also, when we arrived to the place, we saw so many people, thousands of people crowding their way and on their way to give their offerings, their sacrifices in front of their idols that they have. And when you see them in the practice, you realize that they are so into it. It is just the most important fact of their life, actually. That's how they regard it. So you see that even the poorest people will make any kind of effort, every kind of effort, to arrive to these temples. This is the main temple that I'm speaking of in Tirumala. And as I said, there are so many idols along the way. It's difficult to look at it, and this time I was sent to look at it and to film it, so I was in a very difficult sole position, but I had to do it because I understood that it was L'Shem Shamayim. What we saw was that the people are all, actually it's a huge flow of people, that they're all heading towards one main place. Some of them, of course, they go and they first wash themselves. There's a huge pond that they wash themselves in their hair, getting ready for the main reason that they come to this temple, actually, is for the offering as a sacrifice of their hair to their idol, Avodah Zarah. Now, why is this? This is based on a very ancient legend that tells of a certain idol in old ancient times that was sitting in meditation and was not moving or touch or barely breathing, not eating anything, and just sitting for years in this position. Now, over the years, an anthill was built, a termite hill was built around his body. They built it up, and he was completely covered by this anthill or termite hill. And there was one cow that saw him sitting there, and she took it onto herself to come every day and shed her milk upon his head so he will drink and he will have some kind of livelihood to continue his meditation. This is what she did. Now, the owner of the cow didn't understand why she doesn't have any milk, why every day he wants to milk her and she has no milk. So he went after to see where she's going, maybe someone's stealing the milk. What he saw is that she's standing above this anthill and shedding all the milk onto the anthill. So what he did is he took a big club stick, and he wanted to clobber her on the back so she won't come back to that place anymore. But she moved quickly, and he clobbered that idol, or that god, whatever they call them. He clobbered him on the head, and what he did, he gashed his head, and a piece of the hair of the forehead just was thrown off his head. And this goddess came around, and she saw him bleeding without a piece of her hair, so immediately she shaved all the hair from her head and gave it to this god of theirs, Avodah Zarah, idol. And he was so happy by her giving him the hair that since then they have this tradition that whoever wants to get this idol's blessing or whatever they believe in, they come to this place and they shave their hair, and as an offering, as a sacrifice to that idol. And then they believe, and I was told again and again that also they see the results. Some get healthy, some marry their kids, all their wishes and dreams come true. So this is a practice that is practiced in this place. So what did I do? The first time that I was there, I just took notes. But this time they wanted to see it live. So I had this hidden camera, or a camera that I asked also permission that if I can record, and I gave them a certain story why I'm doing this, and they got into it, and they usually were open to my questions and answered me very truthfully. What I did is I approached the different kinds of people, because as I said, they're from the richest of all in India, and they're very, very rich people, and they also come up there and they give as donations and sacrifices diamonds and silver and gold. And the poor people, which are usually around 80-90% of all India, they are poor people. What do they have to give? The only thing that they have to give, the most important thing of their beauty and their whatever, is the hair, the long hair, the women's hair and the children's hair. So they come and they give this as a sacrifice to their idols. And when they go to give this offering, they immediately get into a prayer and they bow their heads. And the moment that they are shaved by the barbers, I'll tell you about them a bit later. The moment of shaving, they are actually offering their sacrifice to their Avodah Zarah. And that's what they gave it as, and then they told me, some of them, that know what goes around, because later on this hair is taken and it's washed and sold and sorted out to different grades and whatever. I asked them, they said, we don't care what they do with this hair after we have given it as a sacrifice already. The moment of the shaving is the moment of the sacrifice. After that, it's in the hands of the priests, and they know that they sell it, and then they get money, and they build up more temples and more. They give us free food, and they make all kinds of this and that with it. But this is a practice. So after I asked, or during the time that I asked, I decided to go to the place of the offering of the hair. And it is very, very close. It is part of the main temple, but it's not within the temple itself, because I was told that within the temple itself they don't shave the hair. But the place of the shaving of the hair, it is considered sacred in their eyes. They take off the shoes, they wash themselves before. There is, when you enter this huge hall, you see Avodah Zarah on the wall, and then you see all the barbers sitting around this huge, huge hall, tens of barbers, sometimes hundreds of barbers. When I was there, it was a medium sort of time. There were many, many, many people. It's a non-stopping flow. Just understand, 24 hours a day, 364 or 5 days a year, it is a non-stopping flow of people that come and shave their hair there as an offering, as a sacrifice to their Avodah Zarah. So also within this hall, you're not allowed to film, but I managed to somehow bypass that, and we filmed it and we showed the people sitting there, and then we also interviewed some of the people while being shaved, and also some of the barbers. As it turns out, the barbers of a certain caste. In India, there are many, many different castes of different. There's the highest, the Brahmins, they are the high priests, and there are the lowest, the untouchables, which no one would even allow them to look at them. And now it's a bit more modernized, the country, so it's not, but it's still there. But so the barbers are from a certain caste, which is called Nai Brahmins, and they are considered a certain kind of very low, but a priest. So they have a sacred doing. Their work is a sacred work. And this caste, they are the people that are all the barbers. They they marry amongst themselves, and that's how it's conducted there. So when we asked the people, as I said, every single one, and that's a practice. It's like lahavdil, very different, but also, when we pray. So we have a certain way of praying, a certain seder that we do. There, it is completely different, but also they have their way. And so every single person that goes into this situation, and he comes there with all his heart and all his love and all his, wishes, they come and they sacrifice the dearest part of their body, of the beauty of their body, which is the hair. And while they do this, they are chanting the prayer of one of the names of their gods. Also the barbers, they chant this same name, before, not while shaving, but before shaving or at the beginning of each one's work shift. They do this, and this is the process. After asking all these questions and seeing all these happenings, we went even deeper. And then we started asking the people, how many of you come and do this practice? So they said, everyone does this. So everyone, that means, when you take it into numbers, there are 1 billion Hindus in India. There are 500 million women with long hair in India. Every single one of them shaves their hair as an offering, a sacrifice to their Avodah Zarah.
In India, everybody have to sacrifice their hair at least once in their lifetime. Yes, they have to do. Yes, there are so many people who used to give many times because of their desires.
Now, I asked even deeper, and I was told that some women don't do it only once in their lifetime. They do 2, 3, 4 times. Every time the hair grows long and it's beautiful in the idol's eyes, as they believe, they have another request. One wants to kids married, the other wants a bit more riches, whatever it is, they come again and again. So if you add that up and sum it up to how much of the hair that is eventually accumulating in this temple, and that's not where it ended. This is the beginning of my investigation. But this temple sees around 50 million people a year. Half of them are women. All of them shave themselves. That's the hair amount, which comes out eventually to close to 90% of the hair in the world, on the globe. Above, some people say more, some people say less, but that, and also then I found out that the quality of the hair in India is considered the highest quality by all those professionals that know about hair, everything. And that with the modern devices that we have now, the Indian hair can be turned into every single kind of hair on earth. The lady that wants a blonde, very silky, they do it, they put it in a certain whatever way, they know all the ways, they turn it into this and that, every color, straight, curly, whatever you want, whoever wants, they do that with the hair. And then they send it, what do? They make it, they package it up. I went also to the manufacturers themselves. I got a list of the countries of export. One of the countries was Israel. The other was Brazil. The other was Ukraine and the United States and so forth and so forth. All those countries that now certain people say that they export their hair from there actually are importing very high quality, cheap Indian hair to their countries after they are processed. And then they sell it from there world round, saying that it's a local product the moment they found out that there's a certain thing that they have to watch out, that let's say hair, so in Ukraine it's not a practice to shave the hair in front of an idol. So they say, and there's no chance that it's avodah zarah, but in actual fact, most of the hair, almost all of the hair, world round, is from the Indian idol source and eventually spreads out all over the world in all the colors and all the forms with all the lies spread around it, and you can never know what you get.
Maybe you go to the internet,
Okay.
Malaysian hair available,
Okay.
Peruvian hair available, Chinese hair available, everything India. India sell to Malaysia.
Okay.
Malaysia process, Malaysia sell Malaysian hair.
Okay.
Everything is available in India.
Okay.
Chinese people buy.
Okay.
Chinese process, only process,
Okay.
sell to Chinese hair.
Yeah.
Every hair shows worldwide Indian hair only.
Okay.
Process different only.
Okay.
I have Indian hair.
Okay.
I have Chinese hair.
Okay.
I have Brazilian hair. I have
Okay.
Peruvian hair.
Okay.
I have meaning everything shows is India. Brazilian shampoo.
Okay.
Brazilian ingredients.
Okay.
Brazilian which type of do Brazilian people. I look internet. I go to Brazilian. Which type of process?
Okay.
Same process I make. I give to you.
Okay. Same hair we are processing with their
hair
products.
is every India. India.
Okay.
But Indian hair Peruvian process.
Mm.
Indian hair Malaysian process.
Okay.
Indian hair. This is both bleached hair. Both Brazilian hair. Brazilian. You want black? I give you. But right now no stock.
Okay.
You give me the order. I make. I give you.
These are Brazilian
Yes.
different colors
Color. You
available.
want black? I give you. Which size? Tell me. I give you.
Yeah, if we want black also, they can give us.
No hair called Brazilian
Okay.
hair.
Mm.
Every hair is going from India.
Okay.
They are making some little process
Okay.
and they're making some Brazilian waves
Okay.
through some steam process.
Uh-huh.
They make some process like this and they're selling as a Brazilian wave.
Okay.
Now slowly it turns to Brazilian hair.
Okay.
There is no such hair called Brazilian hair, Malaysian hair,
Okay.
something.
Mhm.
Peruvian is original hair, Cambodian is there.
Mm-hmm.
Then Chinese hair is there, Indian hair.
Okay.
So 4-5 items are there.
Okay.
So rest everything from India only.
Okay.
Going to that country and they're making some process and selling as a Brazilian hair.
All the in South Indian, all the companies, hair companies, what is the percentage from Tirumala they are getting?
More than 70% of the source only from Tirumala.
From Tirumala. Apart from this, what is the big source, sir?
We have small other temples are there. In South India, many temples are there.
Okay.
So not like Tirumala.
Uh-huh.
It's medium sizes.
Mostly from South Indian temples. Okay.
I took a taxi, and India is a huge country, and there are not no highways that you go real fast. You go real slow, and you're constantly passing through small villages. Let's say the poorest village on earth, where there are only mud huts with a few leaves on the top and people barely wearing clothes, but they have this golden shrine with the huge avodah zarah, statues of all sorts and all kinds and all shapes. So I decided to stop over in those small villages and ask the locals about this. And they said, okay, yeah, go to that place, go to that place. So I went to that place, and again, all along the way, I found out that also in the small shrines, they do the same practices. There are some people that even though now it's easier to get around, they can't go to the big temple. So they go to the medium-sized temple. And also there they have a special room. And also there they shave their hair in front of the idol and make their prayers, and they believe that this is the most wanted offering by their idol, and this is what they give, and they're sure that they're going to get all the good things from him back. So I went to the smaller temples, as in the medium size, and then I said, okay, let's look into the small temples. What is that? That means in the tiniest village, even you have to understand that in every household, they have at least a picture, even a photograph of this idol, and it's not one idol. There are around 400 different idols there, depending on which sect you're from and what part of the country you're in, and so forth. But it's the same principle. When I ask the people, I see them praying in front of a photograph and putting flowers and incense and burning and staying and meditating, and so I said, in front of this. So I ask them, what is this to you? And they say, this is part of our Lord. This is part of our God. He is here. This is His part. And that's with us in every single manifestation of, the form. So this is actually idolatry. There is no, something beyond our conception. They have to see it. It has to be, they drew it, and they believe in that, and that's the actual idolatry. So this is what I found out, that every single woman and all children, there's another practice, that when children come to the age of 11 months old, they are all shaved. And why is this? I asked again priests and other people, and they told me that this is because the mind of the baby is almost completely developed, but it's just before complete development, and the hair is blocking the opportunity to completely fulfill its growth. So when they shave the hair, their idols can implement into each child that part that is not complete yet. When I got to Tirupati this time, and Tirumala, where is the big temple, that I met all the people that come to give their offerings there. I asked them, what is the purpose of their coming? What is the meaning of what they do? And where is the origin of this tradition? The reason that they come to offer their hair is because their God wants this hair. It delighted him when he received the hair when he was hurt and wounded. And since then it is considered his greatest desire that someone will come and give as an offering his hair. So all the people state this in their different words. They say that they come to offer their hair to the God, their idol, of course. It must be understood that people don't just arrive there automatically. Most of the people in India are very, very simple people. And in order to get to this place, they have to go through so much effort, and also financially, and also if they're farmers, they leave their and most of the people in India are still farmers. They leave their fields and the cows and whatever, and they leave it all in order to do this very, very, very important thing, which is one of their highest duties or their traditions that they hold on to. And what do? They offer their hair as a sacrifice to their idol god. Now, the fact that they do it also in other places shows that they believe that there's into these either pictures. Sometimes they are pictures, sometimes they are drawings, sometimes they are idols. There is the presence of the spirit of this idol, the god, their god, is in every single picture. As you can see, that the people sometimes they pray so deeply, and they cry, and they give their offerings in front of a tiny picture that they bought for nothing, but they give all their worshiping to this thing that we would not, of course, consider anything serious in it, but they put all their seriousness into it. And they go into this sacred place, which is a tonsering hole where they shave the hair and they offer it. And there in the entrance there is a huge picture of the idol, and inside they see all the barbers that are waiting there, and they all pray during the process of the shaving. And what they are giving, their most precious offering or sacrifice or holy sacrifice, each one presented it in different words, but the meaning was the same. They all give this as a sacrifice to their avodah zarah, their idol, and this is because he wants this so much. This is the highest that the most dear, the most precious thing that they can give as an offering to this God. They tend their hair and take care of it. They will only give it, and they were ready to depart from it only for this purpose of the sacrifice. And when I asked the people, the different people themselves, they all said that they give the hair as a sacrifice or offering, or each one used different terms, but it was all directed in the same meaning. The moment that it is shaved from parting from their head, the moment that the razor shaves the hair, this is the moment of the offering to their deity, their god or whatever. And after that, they have already completed their offering or their sacrifice, or again, different words directed to the same meaning. And that, because I asked them, okay, but some people know that it's sold later on. They said that doesn't make any difference to us because we have already completed our sacrifice or our offering. When the people go into in the hall of the shaving of the hair, before that they take off their shoes because it's considered a sacred place of offering. And then when they go in, there are many, there could be up to 100 barbers around the whole, all the walls of the hall, and each one is sitting in his place. After they pray on the entrance, each one looks for a vacant barber, and they go and they sit beneath the barber. The barber sits on a higher step than the people that are shaved, and they all sit there, and then they start their prayer while being shaved. I asked again the people, they repeat one of the names of the many gods there. They repeat this name again and again while being shaved. The barber himself shaves the hair, and the moment, as we said, the moment that it's shaved, they completed their offering. Then they put the hair on the ground there. The better hair is they put it down very neatly, so it is all in one piece and in the same direction, and so forth, and so on and so on. And then the next person comes in, and then they put the hair from there into the hundi that is there, and from there it goes apparently to the merchants and to the different processes that it has to go through before it's sold.
When you shave your hair, why do you shave your hair? Who do you give it to?
ఎవరికి ఇస్తావు నువ్వు చేసింది అని
వెంకటరామూర్తి.
వెంకటేష్
To the God. God. You give it to the God. An offering to the God. Sure.
Selling in the market, that is a business. I know very well. But My mind say that I am coming, I give a saving hairs, I giving a God. That's my things, my mindset, my heart say. And when he's saving, I am pray for the God and saying Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. I am saying that I am pray for the God.
The story behind the hair tonsilling is something like before some time, some thousands of years before, God Sri Venkateshwara, he was been on meditation. While meditation, he was fasting from number of days. In such a case, one cow used to daily come to Lord Venkateshwara. That cow used to give the milk to the God. And the owner of the cow finally caught that cow and he tried to hit that cow with some stick or something. While hitting, the stick was hurt by the god Lord Venkateshwara. At that time, he wounded and he lost some hair there. Meanwhile, Neela Devi, a pilgrim who has come there to see God, she felt very sad and she has given her hair to the god to replace that wound. In such a way, she given the hair. That is going to be the tradition here. Whoever want to see the god, they have to come here and they have to give their hair as an offering to the god. That is the story behind hair tonsilling here, like giving the hair to the god.
For the first transfer of the first child, we have to do there to the Lord. Then only we can have another shave, we can another transfer. That is the tradition which we should not miss.
So only
first transfer of the first child, we should do there only. There only.
Where's there? They're here.
Where there and the hills, Balaji. To the Lord only we should offer.
Hair that is given by the children or the parents.
Yes.
It is the same kind of giving as the women to the Lord. The same. Same
and
purpose.
Entire family offers.
When I went into this hall of where they offered the hair, I asked some of the barbers. Of course, first of all of them are dressed in white garments, and this is sanctity of their way. That's how they do when they go to sacred places. They wear their special clothes. I asked the barbers, and they all said that they are working for the God in the place. They are actually the idol's servant, and their purpose is to conduct the shaving of the hair as an offering to the idol.
The people who are doing the head shave or beard shave, is there any sect or caste for them? Nayi Brahmins అని అంటారు కదా, నాయి బ్రాహ్మిన్స్. మీకు ఏదైనా సపరేట్ క్యాస్ట్ ఉంటుందా, లేకపోతే ఓన్లీ మీ క్యాస్ట్కి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళు ఇక్కడ ఈ వర్క్ చేయాలా? ఎస్, ఈ సెడ్ like these people are called nayi Brahmins. These people are only for this doing this job only. There's number of people who are working here, and these people are belongs to a particular caste. That caste is called nayi Brahmins, otherwise barbers. The people who are giving their head shave, is it a holy sacrifice? భావిస్తారో మీరు గుండు కొట్టే దాన్ని వీళ్ళు? Yes, he is saying that it is a kind of holy sacrifice to the God they are giving. Okay, it is like a giving offering to the God. Once they given hair here, it will be exported to somewhere else. It is a kind of sacrifice, he is saying.
Sacrifice to
Once they fulfill their desires, they will give as a sacrifice this hair.
When I managed to get audience with the priests, the high priests in that place, they told me the ancient legend. They told me why it's so important for the people. They also said that they believe that the hair has within it Yetzer Hara and all the ta'avot, that when they take the hair off, they also rid themselves of that, but that is not the main reason. The main reason is because their idol wants the hair, loves the hair. They also get the benefit of cleansing themselves in that spiritual way. This is what they believe. As I said, also the priest said the same thing, so there is no contradiction here as far as they are all set in the same state of mind, and this is it's practiced all through India. Where they shave the hair, is it considered a sacred place?
Yes.
It is considered a sacred place. Sacred place. When they shave the hair, do they pray? Do they say
Govinda? They will pray.
They will pray.
They will pray and they will say Govinda, Govinda.
Also the people that are shaved and also the barbers, they also pray?
Yeah, they also pray. Every day, before starting their work, they will pray the God. And they will start the work.
Acha. Where they shave, do they have to have one of the gods on the either a statue or a picture of the gods on the
hall? God's picture or a statue will be in the hall.
In the hall.
In the hall.
In the hall.
Where they shave.
Where they shave.
Before the God only they shave.
I was asked here if the source of the God here, what is it? There are a few names, but if he was originally a man or he was originally a God.
Originally he is a live God, came from Vaikuntham and became statue here.
Acha, okay.
While coming to earth, he met an accident with a cow dragon.
Yes.
He threw the ash come and make an wound here.
A wound here.
On that time, he lost hair here.
Yes.
While for that only, we are giving hairs to him.
All this hair. Acha, acha.
That's the reason we are shaving the hairs here.
I understand. So the shaving of the children and the shaving here of the women and men, it is the same, more or less.
Yeah.
Same reason.
Same reason.
But the child is child and the old is old. Yeah. Okay. I want to know if this sacrifice, they give it to the God, he wants it, he will take it, and then they do other things with it. This is how it is done.
వాళ్ళు మనకి జనాలు వచ్చి హెయిర్ ఇస్తారు కదా, అది హోలీ సాక్రిఫైజా అనేసి అడుగుతున్నారు. చాలా పవిత్రమైన లాగా ఫీల్ అవుతారు. ఓకే, సాక్రిఫైసింగ్ ఆఫ్ హెయిర్ ఇస్ హోలీ సాక్రిఫైస్.
మామూలుగా ఇంకో కొంతమందికి సందేహాలు ఏంటంటే, మనం ఒక మొక్కుంటాం, స్వామి నీ సన్నిధికి వచ్చి నాకు ఫలానా పని జరిగితే నేను తలనీలా సమర్పణ చేస్తాననేసి. మనం ఆ సమయానికి వెళ్ళలేనటువంటిది ఏదో ఒక అవాంతరం ఏర్పడుతుంది. అప్పుడు కొంతమంది ఏం చేస్తారంటే, ఆ తలనీలాలు సమర్పణ చేసి తీసి వాటిని ఒక గుడ్డలో కడతారు. ఓ పసుపు గుడ్డ, ఒక రాగి కానీ, ఈ తలనీలాలు ఇవన్నీ వేసేసి ఒక గుడ్డ కట్టి ఆ గుడ్డని ఓ పక్కన పెడతారు. దాన్ని ముడుపులు అంటారు మామూలుగా. ఆ వీడేం చేస్తా అంటే, ఎప్పుడైతే వీడికి కుదురుతుందో అప్పుడు ఈ యొక్క తలనీలాలతో పాటు అంటే ఈ ముడుపులతో సహా వచ్చి తీసుకొచ్చి హుండీలో వేస్తారు. హుండీలో వేసిన తర్వాత దాన్ని పరిశుభ్రం చేసిన తర్వాత భగవంతుడికి అది ఏ రకంగా అంటే బార్బర్ వాళ్ళకి విక్రయించటానికా లేకపోతే ఇంకో రకంగానా, దానిలో ఉన్నటువంటి డబ్బులు ఏవైతే పైసలు ఉంటాయో మొత్తం ఇంకో రకంగా దాన్ని డివైడ్ చేసేసి వేరువేరుగా ఏ యొక్క దీనికి సంబంధం ఏంటంటే ఆ సంబంధానికి పంపించేస్తుంటారు. కాబట్టి పల్లెటూరుల్లో కానీ పట్టణాలలో కానీ ఎక్కడైనా సరే గుండు కొట్టించుకున్న తర్వాత తలనీలాలను ముడిపి కట్టడం, అవి తీసుకురావడం, హుండీలో సమర్పణ చేయటం, వాళ్ళ శక్తి అనుసారం ఏదో ఉన్నటువంటి సమర్పణ చేయటం, అప్పుడు కూడా ఇంకోసారి తలనీలాలు సమర్పించడం అనేటువంటిది ఇదంతా అనాదిగా జరుగుతూనే ఉంది. ఏది చెందినా ఆయనకే చెందుతుంది, దానిలో ఎటువంటి సమస్య లేదు.
I was asked by the rabbis to maybe bring a sample of the hair from there to here. They wanted to check the source, if they can, in laboratories. So I told the rabbis that please don't ask me to bring hair from Avodah Zarah. When they asked me for the hairs, I told them, listen, you know what, I'll try and get a piece of, you don't want a big amount of hair, you just need a sample. I'll go to some simple, very, very, very poor people in India, and I'll offer them a very high price for just a strand of your hair, and surely they'll come and give it this amount of money that I'm offering. For them, it's, let's say, in a year they won't see it. So I sent 4 different people in this quest. I said, this is the amount of money I'm ready to offer. It's a huge amount in Indian terms. Come and bring me. And they all said, okay, we'll do it. They came back after a long time, and all the 4 gave me the same answer. This is their answer. Not one woman agreed to give the hair for that price. Why? They say, because they're saving the hair for the offering to the idols when they arrive there, and if they give some of the hair, then their idol will be ashamed of what they did, and they won't get what they want and wish for. That's one of the reasons. And the other reason was that they have this belief that if they give hair to a certain person, then this hair can be used to use magic against them, to take over their minds. So they will never do that because they don't want to get into that situation. And as I said, the main reason was that they don't want to give, because this hair is intended to be given as an offering. Hello, Mandavan.
Yes.
I asked you this morning
Yes.
if you could get some hair from a young Indian girl.
Yes.
And I will pay them well for just a little bit of hair, of their long hair. What was the answer that you got?
I got they don't want to give for girls because they want to give for anyone. It's God only. Otherwise they don't want to give. They keep for beauty, and they don't want giving for anyone.
Even for the money I offered?
Yes, you can give a lot of money.
They don't want. Only they will offer it to God as a sacrifice.
Yes, they offer for God only.
So all these particulars, all this information combined together gives us a picture that 90% of the hair, the wig hair on earth, is from idolatry, practicing of sacrifices to Avodah Zarah. The highest quality, all the kinds, all the colors, and this is the actual facts. These are the actual facts, and this is what the rabbis asked me to gather all this information, and I tried to do it as best I could, and this is what I have to tell you.